Xiao Nai, a computer genius, walks out after a meeting. He is attracted by the back of a girl. Her hand speed in the game is super fast. He knows instantly that she is an expert. Xiao Nai is stunned for a moment. He cannot help himself. He walks forward and wants to meet her, but the girl finishes her game and leaves immediately. She walks right past him, although he only catches a glimpse of her side profile. Xiao Nai is sure he is interested. He immediately remembers the girl's game ID. Wei Wei came to the internet cafe to play games because her game husband, Jin Shui, suddenly wanted to meet her last night. Wei Wei refused without hesitation, but he guessed she had bad intentions. Just when Wei Wei hesitated about whether to send him a photo, her computer suddenly crashed. But unexpectedly the next day, when she goes online again, he directly asks to end their relationship. In the game, Jin Shui offers strong equipment as compensation. Wei Wei jokes, if this is a breakup fee, she thinks it is just a game and does not care. Wei Wei feels lost for only a moment. She agrees immediately, but this causes a huge discussion. After all, Wei Wei is the strongest female player in the game. Now she is abandoned by Jin Shui for no reason. He turns around and marries the legendary #1 beauty Yu Yao. So everyone suspects Wei Wei is actually an ugly man. In real life, Wei Wei mocks them for thinking she is a man just because she shows no photo. She complains about this shallow world. However, Wei Wei only complains a little. She never thinks about sending her beautiful photo to prove herself right. But the more she stays low-key and silent, the more nasty comments netizens make. Just then, the #1 expert, Nai, he suddenly asks to meet Wei Wei in the game. Wei Wei feels very honored, but what surprises her more is that he directly invites her to be his game partner. Wei Wei cannot believe it at this time. She does not know Nai. He is the dream lover of all the girls in their school. Xiao Nai, although she feels it is sudden, for the sake of the upcoming couple competition, Wei Wei agrees after hesitating for only half a minute. Wei Wei says she needs to prepare. She feels that for a duel competition it does not need to be so grand. Nai, he says his banquet cannot be casual. Wei Wei does not hear his hidden meaning at all. For her, this is just a part of the game. However, for Xiao Nai, becoming her game partner is the first step to chasing her. Naturally, he takes it seriously. Xiao Nai tells his roommates he has a partner in the game and says he will introduce them another day. The roommates are instantly interested. The school hunk, who usually has no desires, actually takes the initiative to talk to a girl and wants to introduce them. Then she must be their future sister-in-law. Their gossip spirit burns instantly. They cannot wait to know who she is. Xiao Nai naturally also wants to know more information about his future girlfriend, but right now they just met in the game. He does not want to reveal his thoughts too fast to avoid scaring her away in the following days. Although Xiao Nai is busy with business funding and is incredibly busy, he goes online on time every day to meet and chat with Wei Wei in the game, and he gives her a grand wedding. He slaps the faces of those who mocked her. Someone mocks Nai for being blind to marry an ugly woman like Wei Wei, claiming their third sister-in-law is better than Wei Wei. They say, come and duel if you do not believe it. Good brothers support their future sister-in-law. Wei Wei and Xiao Nai spend a romantic honeymoon in the game. Their feelings heat up unknowingly. Although it is just completing game tasks, Wei Wei feels shy and happy, and Xiao Nai's lips also curl up, but she just solved the trouble in the game of being framed and mocked. In reality, people make up stories about Wei Wei's photo, rumoring she is kept by a rich man. The news spreads quickly throughout the campus. Xiao Nai hears people discussing this in the library, but he does not know that the gold digger they talk about is Wei Wei. Wei Wei, who was upset, sees Xiao Nai in the game. Her mood improves instantly. Unknowingly, her feelings for Xiao Nai increase day by day. This day Xiao Nai goes to Zhen E Tech to discuss cooperation. Wei Wei and her roommate happen to go to this company to interview for summer internships. Xiao Nai is chatting with his good brother, Yu Banshan. He turns around and sees Wei Wei. Xiao Nai realizes that he and Wei Wei are schoolmates and she is his direct junior. He suddenly feels fate is amazing. Although Yu Banshan keeps chattering in his ear, but at this moment he cannot hear anything, he says his eyes are full of love for Wei Wei, the department. Beauty is very good, but nothing lasts forever. During the interview, Wei Wei casually mentions a roommate's game account. Unexpectedly, it catches the CEO's attention. Wei Wei Erxi is surprised. The other party knows her. He hires her immediately, without a word. It turns out the roommate and the CEO used to be partners in the game. The CEO mistakes Erxi for that partner. Now, seeing the real person, his illusion is shattered. he feels even more that his decision to end the relationship was correct. So he deliberately hires her to humiliate her in his company. Erxie, who knows nothing, immediately shares the good news with Wei Wei. Erxie mentions she met a strange person. Wei Wei does not think much of it, but that night on the game forum, she sees a video mocking her as ugly. It portrays her as a humble bootlicker. She explodes with anger instantly. Xiaonai sees it and is angrier than Wei Wei. He immediately prepares to teach that jerk a lesson for her. Then he goes to the forum and publicly challenges Zheng Shui as the stable #1 player. Xiaonai only uses 30% of his power to beat Zheng Shui down, making him lose face in front of everyone. Finally, he can only apologize obediently. Wei Wei is moved to a mess by Xiaonai's protective behavior. After this incident, their feelings warm up further. Wei Wei is not satisfied with online chatting. In her mind, she always unconsciously fantasizes about his appearance. At this time, Xiaonai is also planning to meet her. Knowing Wei Wei is his direct junior, Xiaonai moves back to the dormitory. He wants to show his presence in front of Wei Wei first, but at this time she does not know. Xiaonai is her partner in the game, Wei Wei, who plays with Nai. He is, just like other girls, excitedly gossiping about the school hunk being confessed to, but Xiaonai leaves without even looking. Wei Wei, who is in a daze, suddenly thinks of a great way to block unwanted romance. The talented Chao Guang from the foreign language department. Ever since he learned she got out of a luxury car, not because she was being kept but to tutor a student, he developed feelings for her. So he begins to pursue Wei Wei fiercely. But Chao Guang is absolutely not her favorite type. To cut off his hope completely, she uses Xiaonai as a shield. Wei Wei lies that she has someone she likes, and says it is someone like Xiaonai. These words instantly discourage Chao Guang a lot. After all, Xiaonai is the male god of all girls. Winning against him is not easy, but Chao Guang does not want to give up, so he decides to cater to her interests. He immediately asks a girl in the class to help him secretly find out Wei Wei's game account. Unexpectedly, it goes wrong. This time Wei Wei is helping Erxie, who is still a beginner, to level up. So Erxie's account is mistaken for Wei Wei's. Wei Wei's game name is Huan Tianxi. On the other side, Xiaonai learns that he has a love rival, so he also begins to speed up his pursuit. He even starts using his father as an assistant. Xiaonai tells his father he will attend the elective class. He claims it is to help increase attendance, but actually he has other intentions. It turns out Wei Wei chose Professor Zhao's class. She arrives at the classroom early. Suddenly a pleasant voice comes to her ear. The originally empty classroom, because of the appearance of Xiaonai, instantly becomes overcrowded. Wei Wei, being closest to Xiaonai, becomes the object of envy for all girls. Although she looks calm on the surface, her heart is extremely panicked. She always wants to steal glances at him, unconsciously, ever since Professor Xiao saw his son actively sitting next to a girl. He guessed his intention, so he also cannot wait to test his future daughter-in-law. Wei Wei, who knows nothing, is suddenly named to answer a question. Seeing her calm and confident, answering with logic and evidence, and having her own opinion, Professor Xiao is very satisfied. Wei Wei, whether in appearance or learning ability, is on par with Xiaonai. The most important thing is his son likes her. After class, seeing Xiaonai is not left, girls surround him and take pictures wildly. Wei Wei, sitting inside, suddenly feels extremely awkward. Xiaonai did not say a single word to her the whole time. Rashly talking to him seems bad. Finally, under everyone's gaze, Wei Wei leaves the classroom. After returning, she shows off to her roommates. After all, Xiaonai is a resource shared by all girls in the school. Her roommate is surprised she did not speak to him, given the chance. But Wei Wei never thought she would have any possibility with Xiaonai. Putting aside that Xiaonai is aloof and hard to chase, she already has someone she likes. It is that person she never met, her game partner Naihe. During evening study, Wei Wei is alone in the library repeatedly watching the couple competition video that Naihe made for them. At this time, Xiaonai sits in the corner quietly accompanying her. The two chat selflessly across the screen until the library closes. After Xiaonai watches her return to the dormitory, he leaves with peace of mind the next day in order to see Wei Wei openly. He specially invites his roommates to eat in the cafeteria as soon as the four appear. It causes a commotion, especially Xiaonai, who is the focus everywhere. Wei Wei, who is queuing, intently turns around and sees Xiaonai. Erxie is even more excited and directly takes out her phone to take photos. At this moment, Wei Wei's feeling for Xiao Nai is like a fan's appreciation and love for an idol. She dares not have, nor does she have, any inappropriate thoughts. Erxi says whatever the god orders they will eat for lunch, but when it is their turn, the ribs only have one portion left. Xiao Nai and Wei Wei are polite to each other. Finally, Hao Mei gets it cheaply. He even develops a very cute brotherhood with the cafeteria guy. Next, Wei Wei and Xiao Nai participate together in the couple PK competition in the game. With super strength and tacit cooperation, they easily enter the finals. In reality, Xiao Nai and his roommates encounter problems with game funding. Zhen Tech wants to buy them out at a low price. They even use a separation tactic, tempting Yu Banshan with a high salary to take the core technology to their company. But the Brotherhood of the Four cannot be shaken by anyone, so they can only go around looking for investment. Wei Wei, who is out shopping with roommates, meets Xiao Nai on the road. Xiao Nai gives her a meaningful look. This makes Wei Wei very excited. She instantly becomes a fangirl. Wei Wei wonders if Xiao Nai was looking at her. After being infatuated for a while, Wei Wei quickly calms down. She just wants to go back quickly to find Nai He in the game. Tonight is the couple PK final. They agreed to meet at 8 o'clock. Wei Wei rushes back to the dormitory, afraid of delaying even a second. However, Xiao Nai encounters an accident on his way back. Xiao Nai is unconscious and is rushed to the hospital. Wei Wei, who knows nothing, sees he has not come online, even missing the competition. She feels extremely lost inside. What she cares about now is not winning the championship, nor does she care about others mocking her for being stood up. She just cannot figure out why Nai He suddenly broke the appointment. She worries if something happened to him, but except for the game, she knows nothing about Nai He in reality, nor does she have his contact information right now. Besides waiting for him to come online again, there is no other way. But Xiao Nai is seriously injured, although his life is not in danger. After rescue, he remains unconscious for a whole day and night. Wei Wei is also depressed for a whole day and night, thus confirming her own feelings. Xiao Nai, after waking up from the car accident, logs into the game immediately. He wants to explain the reason to Wei Wei. However, Wei Wei is afraid Nai He, like her former partner Jin Shui, suddenly abandoned her. So she dares not click on the game. Instead, she keeps watching their couple video repeatedly. Xiao Nai decides immediately that once Wei Wei is online, he will ask to meet her right away. So he makes a small program to monitor Wei Wei's computer, waiting for her to go online, so he can receive a notification immediately. This day, Wei Wei suddenly receives a call from the game officials saying they want to buy their couple PK video for promotion, because this video was made by Nai He. So Wei Wei must ask for his opinion first. After hesitating again and again, Wei Wei goes online but does not contact Nai He directly. Instead, she finds Nai He's roommate Yu Gong. Yu Banshan sees the future sister-in-law finally online. He immediately tells her about Xiao Nai's car accident. Wei Wei complains that fainting for a day is serious. She says it is very serious. She decides to find the great master. After learning the truth, Wei Wei is very worried. Wei Wei cannot wait to find Xiao Nai to ask about his condition. Although Xiao Nai says he is fine, Wei Wei is still not at ease. She tells him to log off quickly, rest well, and recover. This obvious love is completely exposed. Xiao Nai directly proposes to meet. Xiao Nai asks to meet and talk directly. Wei Wei agrees without any hesitation and quickly writes down his mobile number. Then she cannot wait to tell him the university she is in and other information. Little does she know, Xiao Nai already knew, but to give Wei Wei a surprise, he says nothing. He just agrees to meet after her exams at the East Gate of Qing University. Wei Wei has completely fallen for him, although she currently only knows his phone number. She knows nothing about his height or appearance, but this does not stop her from liking him. Wei Wei, in a sexy red dress, stuns everyone instantly to meet her game partner Nai He. Wei Wei drags her best friend along to help her buy new clothes, but she feels their choices are too revealing. Finally, she picks a most conservative business suit herself. After all, she tells her friends a lie that it is for an interview. Moreover, she does not want to give Nai He any bad impression for this meeting. Wei Wei considers a lot. Even details like shoes are not missed. She decisively gives up high heels that match the skirt better. Instead, she chooses flat canvas shoes, afraid her height will overpower him and hurt his self-esteem. On the way back, Wei Wei talks and laughs with her roommates. Her mood is flying high. After all, she is about to meet the person she likes. The next day, Wei Wei puts on the little skirt she bought specially. Although she is naturally beautiful, She still puts on exquisite makeup, just so the meeting later can give Nai an amazing feeling. Wei Wei is both nervous and expectant. During the exam, she uses the fastest speed to answer all questions. If the invigilator did not know her grades are excellent, he would think she handed in a blank paper. Then Wei Wei rushes nonstop to the meeting place. The closer the meeting time comes, the more nervous and excited she is inside. She has fantasized countless times what Nai looks like, but she never expected the person to be the school hunk Xiao Nai. It is simply a surprise from the sky. The online lover she dreams about is actually the school hunk. Wei Wei still finds it unbelievable, carefully confirming with Xiao Nai repeatedly. Although she gets a positive answer, her heart still struggles. She dares not even look straight into Xiao Nai's eyes. Wei Wei. Xiao Nai suddenly asks Wei Wei if she eats fish. Hearing Xiao Nai accurately call out her name, Wei Wei is shocked. But thinking again about her game name, is Luei Wei Wei. It is reasonable for Xiao Nai to call her Wei Wei. She does not know that their seemingly casual meeting is actually Xiao Nai's long-planned scheme. And this romantic and beautiful first meeting becomes a beautiful scene in a painter's drawing. Xiao Nai takes Wei Wei to a private restaurant he often visits. Wei Wei is still very nervous inside but pretends to be calm on the surface, deliberately finding topics to chat with him to break the awkwardness. But Xiao Nai is indeed as legendary cold and speaks little. Wei Wei really does not know what to talk about, so she can only focus on eating. After all, this is their first meeting. If she acts too talkative and leaves a bad impression, it would not be worth it. Although Xiao Nai does not speak much, he watches Wei Wei constantly. The atmosphere between them gradually becomes relaxed and natural. Just then a roommate calls to remind him about Xiao Nai's basketball game in the afternoon. The roommate asks if he is dating and tells him to bring the person over meeting his friends right away. This speed is a bit too fast, but Wei Wei still nods and agrees uncontrollably. Then Xiao Nai comes back riding a bicycle. Wei Wei realizes his driving actually means riding a bicycle. If she lets Xiao Nai carry her through the campus, she will be eaten alive by all the girls. Besides, they are not in a couple relationship yet. Wei Wei worries people will misunderstand their relationship. Xiao Nai asks when they were not in that relationship. Xiao Nai's one sentence instantly leaves Wei Wei speechless. Meeting and eating once determines the relationship. Is she so easy to chase? But her meeting today was intended to secure Nai. He, after all, although unseen, Wei Wei liked him long ago. Now, knowing Nai, he is the computer genius. Xiao Nai she admires. She feels she gained a lot. So the two of them get together with mutual understanding. But on the road Wei Wei still feels uncomfortable and wearing a skirt is inconvenient. She keeps using her bag to block the skirt blown up by the wind. Xiao Nai notices this quickly. He uses buying something as an excuse, then quickly buys a big bag of snacks for Wei Wei. Xiao Nai's thoughtful action moves Wei Wei deeply. The great master looks cold on the surface, but is actually delicate and warm, suddenly getting such a perfect boyfriend. The smile on Wei Wei's lips never stops. But when nearing the gym, Wei Wei gets off early. Xiao Nai is participating in today's basketball game. The venue must be overcrowded. Wei Wei has no courage to appear with Xiao Nai, facing those girls' envious and jealous gazes. However, she does not know. Xiao Nai already has his own plan he wants to announce to the world. Wei Wei is destined to not escape. As soon as Xiao Nai enters, all girls' eyes look at him in unison. But in Xiao Nai's eyes he only sees Wei Wei. They look deeply at each other. Across the crowd the coach comes over to drive the girls surrounding Xiao Nai back to the audience seats. Everyone thinks Xiao Nai was looking at the school beauty Meng Iran. Even Wei Wei's roommates think so. Wei Wei quickly says proudly, Xiao Nai is looking at her unexpectedly. It provokes their laughter. Wei Wei explodes with anger, thinking she should have entered with Xiao Nai. But there is something more piercing next. Although Wei Wei is an excellent department beauty, she is recognized by the school forum as the worst match for Xiao Nai. Wei Wei retorts angrily. She did not care about this before, but since knowing Nai, he is Xiao Nai. Her thinking has changed. However, as the basketball game starts, everyone watches Xiao Nai intently. Xiao Nai is indeed an all-around hunk. Even though he just recovered from a car accident, his strength is not affected at all. The score gap opens quickly. His handsome shooting action makes the girls cheer. But Wei Wei is already daydreaming, thinking about the exclusive benefits she can enjoy. She gets excited. Just the ambiguous scenes fantasized in her mind make Wei Wei blush and her heart beat fast. After the first half ends, Xiao Nai lacks stamina due to injury, so he lets a substitute play the second half. After resting on the side for a while, He walks slowly towards the audience, instantly making everyone's blood boil. Only Wei Wei is extremely calm. Now, when she recovers and realizes he might be coming for her, she gets nervous. But before she can react, Xiao Nai is already beside her. Xiao Nai asks what she plans to do tomorrow. Wei Wei answers self-study. Xiao Nai says he will go with her. Xiao Nai and Wei Wei's first official date. He takes her to his company. The two of them, one reading and reviewing, one handling official business. But both are distracted. At a young and energetic age and being in love, how is it possible to do their own things without distraction? But Xiao Nai does not want to scare her. After all, from meeting to establishing a relationship, it has only been 2 short days. Some things cannot be rushed. But showing off to his girlfriend his strength is okay. He shows his developed new game to Wei Wei. Seeing this, Wei Wei admires him instantly. She immediately becomes a praise machine. Xiao Nai is in a great mood after hearing it. Wei Wei is no longer as restrained as before. She slowly accepts the identity of Xiao Nai's girlfriend. Speaking becomes natural and casual. Xiao Nai also takes the chance to tell Wei Wei that he knew her offline long ago. Hearing him say this, and seeing the water cup he prepared specifically for her, Wei Wei realizes belatedly. She reacts. It turns out their meeting and love are all Xiao Nai's long-term plan. She feels both moved and surprised. At this time, mistakenly thought to be Wei Wei by Chao Guang, Erxi is being abused crazily in the game. Facing Chao Guang's sarcastic remarks, Erxi does not hear it at all. Chao Guang sarcastically introduces this horse's specialty, mocking that it is good at cheating when it runs. Its steps are wide, implying that it suits her very well. Erxi, who is deeply involved, decides to give Chao Guang a gift too. For this, she specially asks Wei Wei's advice. So she decides to make a game equipment for him herself. For a game rookie, the difficulty is very high, but for Chao Guang, she is willing to try. Wei Wei uses the award video to ask the game officials for 5 rare spiritual beasts. Then she cannot wait to tell Xiao Nai this good news. But she only sees the only one she has not met. Mozada is online. Since learning from Xiao Nai that his name is Hao Mei, a nickname pops up in her mind, Senior Beauty. So she blurts it out. They chat happily, although a grown man being called Senior Beauty is awkward. But since Wei Wei is not only his junior sister, but also the 3rd sister-in-law, he accepts it by default. He then tells Wei Wei a huge gossip. Someone called today to the dorm to confess to the 3rd brother. Wei Wei gets jealous instantly, but does not want to reveal it in front of others. So she lies that she has been confessed to since childhood. Unexpectedly, this sentence is seen by Xiao Nai, who just returned to the dorm. Wei Wei is instantly embarrassed. She hurriedly finds an excuse to change the topic. But how could the black-bellied Xiao Nai miss this good chance to tease Wei Wei? Xiao Nai jokes he has never been confessed to since childhood. On the other side, knowing Xiao Nai has a girlfriend, the school beauty still refuses to give up. She decides to change strategy to attract his attention. This day, Xiao Nai goes on a business trip to discuss cooperation with Feng Tung Tech. Before leaving, he specially accompanies Wei Wei to have breakfast in the cafeteria. Since being with Xiao Nai, Wei Wei is afraid of Professor Zhao's class, afraid of performing badly, and giving her future father-in-law a bad impression. So she cannot wait to ask Xiao Nai for advice. Xiao Nai is amused by her cute look. He deliberately gives her a bad idea. Xiao Nai advises her to pretend not to know him. Wei Wei grinds her teeth in anger. Her black-bellied boyfriend goes online occasionally. She cannot handle it at all. It seems she will only be controlled in the future. But little does she know. Professor Xiao is extremely satisfied with Wei Wei, this future daughter-in-law. After returning, he praises Wei Wei to Xiao Nai's mother, praising Wei Wei a lot. Both of them wish Wei Wei would graduate quickly and then marry her into the family. At this time, the unyielding Meng Iran learns that Xiao Nai will attend the banquet held by Feng Tung Tech, so she dresses up carefully and attends with her uncle. Her high-profile appearance causes a commotion. Instantly, however, she is targeted by several ill-intentioned rich second generations. Xiao Nai happens to see it, so he steps forward to help her out. Unexpectedly, his kind act is misunderstood by Meng Iran. She is secretly delighted, instantly thinking she can soon capture Xiao Nai's heart. She immediately urges her friend on the forum to spread rumors about Wei Wei anonymously. Facing this baseless, malicious speculation, Wei Wei's mood becomes extremely low. Just then she receives a call from Xiao Nai regarding the slander. She does not mention a word. However, after she hangs up, she is told the forum was hacked. Her roommate guesses if the Great Master did it. It turns out Xiao Nai already learned about this from his good brothers. The three immediately launch an action to protect the third sister-in-law. Not only do they hack all false comments, they also publish Wei Wei's academic grades and scholarship awards out there, instantly slapping the faces of those gossipers spreading falsehoods. Although they vented their anger, the roommates still feel they cannot just easily let Meng Yiran go. She bullies Wei Wei repeatedly. They really cannot bear it. So they act first and report later, asking Xiao Nai, who just returned, to treat them to dinner. Then, deliberately meeting at the restaurant where Meng Yiran often goes, they prepare a stunning red dress for Wei Wei. Under their persistent persuasion, Wei Wei finally agrees to their request. Until she arrives at the restaurant and sees Meng Yiran is also there, Wei Wei understands their good intentions. The roommate thinks they won without doing anything. But seeing Xiao Nai returning from parking, walking slowly towards her, Wei Wei realizes she should not treat him as a tool for counterattack, and showing off their relationship does not need to be proven to outsiders. Moreover, she believes Xiao Nai does not like being used either. So she lies that she dislikes Western food and wants to change to another shop. Xiao Nai does not ask much. Whatever Wei Wei says goes. Then they go to the boiled fish shop they often visit. Foodie Erxi prepares to eat freely immediately. Seeing this, Wei Wei quickly finds an excuse to call her out, reminding her not to order too much. She has not been with Xiao Nai for long. Naturally, she wants to be as reserved as possible in front of him, worried about revealing her true nature too fast, and being disliked unexpectedly when they return. Xiao Nai has ordered, and it is all food they love. The portion is enough. It turns out, while she was away, Cici and Xiaoling already told Xiao Nai many of her secrets. Wei Wei is so embarrassed, she just wants to find a hole to crawl into. Although Xiao Nai is not good at words and is occasionally a bit mischievous, but he is an extremely delicate and considerate boyfriend. After the dinner ends, happily, Xiao Nai asks Wei Wei alone why she suddenly did not go to the French restaurant just now. At this time Wei Wei tells Xiao Nai about Meng Yiran spreading rumors on the forum completely and truthfully, but now she does not care. Anyway, she did not receive any substantial harm. But Xiao Nai cannot stand Wei Wei being bullied. Xiao Nai says he probably does not have this tolerance. The next day, he fights back personally regarding the rumors about Wei Wei on the forum. So the storm of public opinion calms down quickly. Xiao Nai is about to graduate. He and Wei Wei are about to face the problem of a long-distance relationship. Chao Guang and Erxi's elective final project is to shoot some videos related to graduates. She asks Wei Wei and Xiao Nai for help immediately, but Chao Guang misinterprets Wei Wei being with Xiao Nai. While flirting with him in the game, watching them show off their love in front of him, he burns with anger. He leaves angrily halfway through shooting. Wei Wei and others are confused, but they do not care. Little do they know the misunderstanding gets bigger, about to break Wei Wei and Erxi's friendship. Before leaving the campus, Xiao Nai takes Wei Wei to officially meet his good brothers. Hao Mei and the cafeteria guy Ko have a close relationship, so they go to the restaurant where he works. Ko actually has another mysterious identity. Because of Hao Mei, he later joins Xiao Nai's company, becoming a technical backbone. This dinner makes Wei Wei understand Xiao Nai more learning. He cannot eat spicy food at all, but before to accommodate her and her friend's preferences, he said nothing. Wei Wei feels both moved and guilty. Instantly after the dinner Wei Wei goes to the billiard hall with them. She cannot play, so she stays quietly on the side accompanying them. But how could a perfect boyfriend leave his girlfriend out in the cold and only play by himself on the side? So he teaches Wei Wei to play by hand. Wei Wei is indeed a top student. She learns immediately, unlocking a new skill in just a few minutes. When Wei Wei has played enough, Xiao Nai thoughtfully sends her back before the curfew. As their relationship warms up, Wei Wei does not want Xiao Nai to always accommodate her unilaterally. She feels distressed that he is extremely busy, but still takes time to bring her breakfast and water. But Xiao Nai's answer moves her to tears. What kind of godlike boyfriend is this? Xiao Nai says what others do he must do too. Xiao Nai and Wei Wei just got together and face separation. Despite being reluctant, Xiao Nai generously lets his girlfriend go back to accompany her parents. To coax her unhappy boyfriend, Wei Wei gives the cactus she raised for a long time to Xiao Nai, letting him see the object and think of the person. The two are reluctant to part at the airport. The couple in love just wants to stick together all the time. So Wei Wei actively proposes to change the train ticket to the day after tomorrow. Xiao Nai smiles immediately, but there are no tickets for a week. Xiao Nai asks about flight tickets for the day after tomorrow. Wei Wei refuses without thinking. Flight tickets are way over her budget. She does not want Xiao Nai to pay for her. Xiao Nai understands her meaning instantly. He decides to respect her idea and does not force it. He just reminds her to buy a mobile phone quickly when she gets back for easy contact. After explaining everything, Xiao Nai cannot help but kiss Wei Wei on the forehead. After Wei Wei leaves, Xiao Nai returns to the car alone, smiling foolishly at that cactus. Then he treats it like a treasure and brings it to the company, not forgetting to show off his love in front of his single brothers. Wei Wei, who arrives home safely, calls Xiao Nai immediately to report her safety. Before they chat much, Wei Wei's parents return, suddenly worried about being found out about her dating. She pretends she is calling the child she tutors, barely fooling them. Then she hangs up hurriedly. Xiao Nai plays along, reminding her to buy a phone. Xiao Nai cooperates with a doting face. Although he promised Wei Wei to temporarily hide the relationship from her parents. But Xiao Nai is determined about their feelings. He saves the number as mother-in-law's house immediately. After all, it is a matter of time. In the following days, Xiao Nai and the team members are always busy with game development. Only after work can he chat with Wei Wei online. Wei Wei knows there are many things in the startup phase, so she tries not to disturb him. The two keep the voice chat on and do their own things, occasionally saying a few words. Wei Wei learns Xiao Nai's parents are not home, and he is so busy he hasn't eaten. She immediately orders him remotely a loving dinner, giving him a surprise. The two accompany each other in the game every night like this, but one day apart feels like 3 years. Wei Wei really wants to fly to Xiao Nai's side immediately. This is the first time she feels the summer vacation is so long, while Xiao Nai's company suddenly has a small episode. Hao Mei's computer is always hacked. Inexplicably, the desktop beauty photo is changed to a temple photo. The opponent's skill is great. Only Xiao Nai can compete with him to find the mastermind. Xiao Nai battles him online. Their strengths are equal. Xiao Nai wins slightly with full effort. Xiao Nai quickly guesses this person is coming for Hao Mei and has absolutely no malice. So he uses Hao Mei as bait immediately to recruit him into the company. Until KO appears out of nowhere. Everyone knows his true identity. To make KO more loyal to work for the company, Xiao Nai uses a beauty trap directly, but not himself, but Hao Mei. Xiao Nai stops Hao Mei, reminding him KO was recruited by him, letting him take full responsibility. With KO joining, their game development process speeds up significantly. Wei Wei also earns enough money to buy a phone. She sends a text message to Xiao Nai immediately, but she teases him a little, disguising herself as a scam call. The text says, Xiao Nai won a laptop after paying tax and a fee of 1,000 yuan. The prize can be mailed to him after sending the message. Wei Wei expects greatly how Xiao Nai will reply, but unexpectedly, she really receives 1,000 yuan. Wei Wei thinks Xiao Nai was cheated. She calls him quickly. Wei Wei has to sigh. The great master's brain is good. Her bank card only appeared once in front of Xiao Nai. He actually remembered it. The reason, Xiao Nai knows it is Wei Wei but is still willing to be cheated, is hoping she uses this money to buy a flight ticket. The couple, separated for a month, meets again unexpectedly calmly. Wei Wei wanted to surprise Xiao Nai, but unexpectedly she disturbed his work instead. She feels both guilty and a bit lost inside. But unexpectedly, as soon as she arrives at the office, Xiao Nai cannot wait to pin her against the corner. His warm lips kiss her eagerly. Wei Wei is instantly stunned. Their first kiss happens off guard like this. Wei Wei, too nervous to breathe, can only cooperate obediently with Xiao Nai's passion. Until outside comes Yu Banshan's urging voice. Xiao Nai lets go reluctantly of the girlfriend he missed day and night. Xiao Nai tells her to wait here for him. Then he recovers his reason immediately and devotes himself fully to work. Wei Wei, reacting belatedly, finds an excuse to run away shyly. When Xiao Nai returns after discussing business, he only sees the note Wei Wei left on the table. Xiao Nai is amused by her cute appearance. He calls immediately to ask her address. Wei Wei is currently staying at her roommate Xiaoning's house. Xiao Nai rushes over immediately. He is treated as a laborer upon arrival, helping to clean up. Xiao Nai also looks doting, letting her order him around. Because just now in the office, that sudden deep kiss. Wei Wei hasn't recovered from it. She is too shy to face him, but pretends to be calm on the surface. But Xiao Nai keenly perceives it. His usually talkative girlfriend has actually become silent. She dares not even look at his eyes. Luckily, a rain gives them a chance to relieve the awkwardness. Xiao Nai, having tasted sweetness, wants to kiss and hug all the time. He becomes a master of love words, flirting anytime, anywhere. Xiaonai says sweetly that he feels since she came the weather here has become better, and he kisses anywhere, making Wei Wei stay in a blushing state. They are even seen by two little girls. Wei Wei drags him to run away shyly. She is even led astray by Xiaonai, unknowingly. When she acts coquettishly and asks if his company still recruits interns, Xiaonai deliberately teases her, saying it depends on what she offers in exchange. Immediately in Wei Wei's mind appear ambiguous scenes of office, hidden rules. In the dream, she even actively throws herself into his arms, responding passionately to Xiaonai's demand. Waking up, she realizes she actually had such a shameful dream. Thinking beauty really misleads people. Today is her first day going to work at Xiaonai's company. Wei Wei, who has been struggling with what to wear, finally chooses a black and white skirt suit. After going downstairs, she sees Xiaonai wearing the same color scheme as her. She is secretly delighted in her heart. This damn tacit understanding. Xiaonai comes personally to pick Wei Wei up for work. The scene of the two holding hands happens to be seen by the gynophobic o2o Shuang. His jaw drops instantly. Originally to take care of him, the company did not recruit a single girl, but Wei Wei is the future boss's wife. An exception must be made. Shuang looks hopeless. Xiaonai hands Wei Wei over to Yugong, but Yugong hands her over to Shuang again. Although his gynophobia is immune in front of Wei Wei, he looks down on girls studying computer science and does not treat Wei Wei as the boss's wife. Instead, he deliberately targets and makes things difficult for her. Shuang tells her to go speak to the boss. Wei Wei does not want to trouble Xiaonai for small things, so she actively sits far away, letting him order her if there is anything. Then Shuang gives Wei Wei a random assignment of an impossible task, wanting her to retreat, knowing the difficulty. But this stimulates Wei Wei's desire to win. She wants to prove to Shuang that girls are not worse than boys at all, eliminating his prejudice against girls studying IT. Hao Mei really cannot stand it, so he tells Xiaonai about this. Who knows Xiaonai is indifferent, but soon Xiaonai will regret today's decision. Hao Mei asks him if he really has the heart to see Wei Wei bullied. Xiaonai says, treat it as a beginner village task. Wei Wei stays up all night finally finishing the task Shuang gave her perfectly, and she saves 500 yuan budget for the company. So she cannot help but ask for praise in front of Xiaonai. Although Wei Wei suffers difficulties from Shuang, it makes her learn a lot of things. It is a blessing in disguise, thinking. Luckily Xiaonai did not guide her personally at first. She does not want to be treated specially. Always Xiaonai sees Wei Wei wet all over. Coming back from outside, he is instantly heartbroken. Xiaonai blames Yugong for letting her get wet. Xiaonai gives a sharp look immediately to his good brother Yubanshan. Wei Wei fears the two will be unhappy because of her. She explains quickly that she was in a hurry and forgot to bring an umbrella when going out. Xiaonai then stops blaming him. Then he immediately asks Yugong to take off his jacket for Wei Wei, then takes her back to his nearest apartment to change clothes to avoid catching a cold along the way. Xiaonai has a cold expression, saying not a single word, just silently adjusting the car's temperature to the highest, afraid Wei Wei gets cold. This time he really feels heartache, regretting not guiding her personally at first, and Wei Wei did not expect herself to come to Xiaonai's house for the first time under such circumstances. Before she finishes observing Xiaonai, holds a towel blocking her view, then gently wipes her hair for her while comforting her warmly. Xiaonai knows Shuang troubles her, asking painfully why she did not tell him. Xiaonai sees Wei Wei would rather be bullied than rely on her identity as the future boss's wife to show off in the company. His eyes are full of pain and guilt at the same time. He is happy to find such a considerate and understanding girlfriend, so he cannot help but lower his head to kiss her. After some intimacy, Xiaonai takes his clothes, giving them to Wei Wei to change into the next day. He cunningly wears the shirt that still has his girlfriend's smell to the company, then uses the CEO's authority for the first time to vent anger for Wei Wei. And Shuang actually changed his view on Wei Wei long ago. Just the previous prejudice against girls in computer science affected his opinion of Wei Wei. Shuang admits to Xiaonai, Wei Wei is really different. Xiaonai is also happy. Wei Wei won Shuang's approval with her own ability, but he is still reluctant to hand her over to anyone again. So no matter how busy he brings her personally, Wei Wei resting at home for a day is not idle either, helping Erxi constantly practice forging skills in the game. At this time, because Erxi previously accidentally broke Chao Guang's camera. Having no money to pay, She can only use summer vacation to work for him to pay off debt. So she comes whenever she has time, every day, to clean his house and act as a cat pooper scooper. While Xiao Guang leisurely plays games online but meets the real Wei Wei in the game by mistake, to avoid him discovering Erxi, she finds someone to level up and send him a surprise gift. So she does not expose it, instead lies that she has business, then calls Erxi to report the situation. Just now, Wei Wei going to eat with Xiao Nai in the evening is overheard by Xiao Guang. He burns with anger instantly, so he cannot help but vent all anger on Erxi. Erxi, knowing nothing, is baffled, being yelled at by him. She feels extremely aggrieved. However, what is worse is, while scooping cat poop, she is accidentally bitten by it and bleeds. Xiao Guang, who is still angry seeing this, changes his attitude instantly. Xiao Guang scolds her for being stupid with heartache. Actually, Xiao Guang unknowingly fell in love with Erxi long ago, just that he did not notice it himself. He even misunderstood. Wei Wei is two-timing. Little does he know, the one he likes in the game is the silly and cute Erxi in front of him, although the bleeding stopped in time. Worried, Xiao Guang decides to take Erxi for a vaccine. Already deep in debt, Erxi refuses to go no matter what, until Xiao Guang says he pays. She agrees reluctantly, but changes her mind at the hospital. Helpless, Xiao Guang has to contact Wei Wei. Xiao Guang asks Wei Wei to come helplessly at this time. Wei Wei's cold is not fully cured, but right now she cannot care about herself. After hanging up, she rushes nonstop over there. Xiao Nai happens to call on the way and learns about this, so he drives quickly to pick them up. Wei Wei learns there that Erxi owes Xiao Guang money, so she works early and late every day to pay off the debt, so she wants to help her pay. Without a word, Xiao Guang says angrily, "Who asked them to pay back?" Wei Wei is very confused. Although she once refused his confession, he shouldn't hold a grudge until now. But right now Wei Wei cannot care so much. She immediately drags Erxi hard, who is afraid of injections, to get the vaccine. Just then Xiao Nai appears suddenly, seeing Wei Wei only caring about persuading Erxi to get the vaccine, not even knowing she has a high fever herself. Xiao Nai feels extremely distressed. Instantly, fortunately, the fever goes down quickly after some 4 drips. Xiao Nai sends the two home, worried Wei Wei might have issues at night. He decides to stay overnight and Erxi is very sensible, returning to her room immediately. Indeed, the temperature rises again. Knowing how to lecture others about not getting shots, what about herself? Randomly, Xiao Nai turns into a perfect boyfriend, taking care of Wei Wei properly. After she falls asleep, he returns to the living room, continuing to handle work matters. Wei Wei wakes up in the middle of the night, seeing the lights still on in the living room. She goes out to check quickly. Indeed, finding Xiao Nai there, she feels extremely safe that instantly, Xiao Nai sees, although her fever is gone, she is visibly weak. His eyes are full of distress. He decides immediately to take her with him anytime in the future. Wei Wei does not refute this time, accepting happily to be her boyfriend's follower in the company. Under Xiao Nai's meticulous care, Wei Wei recovers quickly after breakfast. She cannot wait to go to work. The guilty Shuang finally plucks up courage to apologize to Wei Wei. Within just over 10 days, all employees in the company sincerely accept and recognize Wei Wei's identity as the future boss's wife. Next, Xiao Nai personally keeps Wei Wei by his side. As senior gamers, the two work together on the company's newly developed game for final testing and optimization. Wei Wei provides many constructive ideas after trying it, coinciding exactly with Xiao Nai's philosophy. Xiao Nai discusses with her many visions for the company's new game. After listening, Wei Wei has a few more points of admiration for her boyfriend. Worthy of being the male god she always regarded as an idol before, but now he is her boyfriend. Speaking naturally becomes casual. She even learned to joke and tease him. No matter what Wei Wei says, Xiao Nai accepts it with a doting face. On the other side, Erxi and Xiao Guang's relationship is also easing. After getting paid, Erxi pays Xiao Guang back immediately. The two are no longer creditor and debtor relationship, but friends helping each other. Therefore, Erxi will continue to take care of the cat for him during his business trip. Xiao Guang, watching Erxi and the cat playing together, feels extremely warm. His lips curl up unconsciously. Two emotionally dull people haven't realized yet. They fell for each other long ago, and Wei Wei and Xiao Nai's relationship progress is advancing by leaps and bounds. To create chances for being alone during holidays, Wei Wei stays at Xiao Nai's house almost all the time. The young couple in the honeymoon phase is clingy. Xiao Nai also takes the chance to show Wei Wei more skills, but Wei Wei only thinks about how to improve the game better. The two are completely not on the same channel right now. When a love brain meets a work brain, naturally the one perfectly controlling everything, love brain, Xiao Nai wins slightly. He pushes the angry Wei Wei down and leans over to kiss her, making Wei Wei confused and infatuated, quickly doubting if she is really his first love. After being intimate with Wei Wei, Xiao Nai returns to workaholic state immediately. After all, the game is launching soon. There are still many things to solve. Wei Wei is like a newlywed wife sending Xiao Nai to work. They part reluctantly at the door. Xiao Nai asks Wei Wei to watch the house. The two have started early to adapt to future married life. After Xiao Nai leaves, Wei Wei logs into the game to play for a while, but meets the former clan leader who she had a good relationship with learning. Both are in the capital after chatting, so they agree to have afternoon tea. Originally, Wei Wei dislikes meeting netizens offline, but the other party is a girl and they have known each other for a long time. Learning she is in a bad mood after breaking up, she agrees. Xiao Nai, to make their relationship go further, starts fancy flirting actions on Wei Wei. Clearly the company is extremely busy. He still invites Wei Wei to swim after work, nominally saying Wei Wei is too weak and needs to strengthen exercise, actually wanting to take the chance to show his body to make Wei Wei moved as expected. When Xiao Nai asks Wei Wei to help him get a pair of swimming trunks, her mind unconsciously plays many adult-only scenes. Xiao Nai sees she hasn't replied for a long time. The corners of his mouth reveal a meaningful smile, and this is exactly the effect he wants. In order to show off in front of his girlfriend, show his male charm, Xiao Nai deliberately uses the excuse of letting her strengthen her body, thus finding a great opportunity to show off his body, and Wei Wei, naturally, will not miss this benefit. She picks up her phone and takes pictures wildly, but when it comes to herself, she is extremely shy regarding the ones the clerk hands over. She chooses none of those sexy swimsuits. Finally, she picks a very conservative black dress. After all, today she is going to enjoy her boyfriend's benefits and not the one giving benefits. However, when she learns that she casually picked swimming trunks for Xiao Nai that are actually so short and tight, she immediately turns her head nervously. Her heart is also thumping, beating wildly nonstop, facing from behind Xiao Nai's burning gaze. Wei Wei finally loses the battle. Then she runs away with a shy face. Luckily, she agreed to meet a netizen offline, so not long after swimming she uses the excuse to go to the appointment. Dai Ming did not expect that in the game, because she always refused to meet offline and was not even willing to give a photo. She was mocked as a ladyboy. Wei Wei is actually so beautiful in reality. Dai Ming is shocked for a moment and cannot speak. But Wei Wei does not want to talk about those unimportant people right now. Agreeing to meet Dai Ming this time is also truly treating her as a friend. Dai Ming is still the same as in the game, complaining to Wei Wei about her boyfriend cheating. Wei Wei does not know what to say. She can only comfort her not to be sad. Originally she thought after meeting this time they would count as real friends in reality, but Dai Ming is driven by vanity, especially when she learns Wei Wei is a stunningly beautiful woman. She cannot help but show off in front of the manipulative girl who stole her boyfriend. Dai Ming brags that she met Wei Wei, saying the real person is absolutely stunning. But no one believes her words, especially Xiao Yao, who mistakes Erxi for Wei Wei. She feels even more that she is lying. She decides immediately to go to Zhen Shui's company to meet the real Wei Wei, and Erxi, who knows nothing, is about to suffer their varied humiliations. Instead of Wei Wei, Xiao Yao relies on being the future wife of the company CEO. As soon as she arrives, she names Erxi to come and entertain them. When they see the plain-looking Erxi, their hearts bloom with joy instantly. This is the Wei Dai Ming called incredibly beautiful. It is simply laughable. They immediately make things difficult for her deliberately to take revenge on Wei for beating them wildly in the game. Erxi does not know where she offended them, but due to their relationship with the group's crown prince, she can only swallow her anger to avoid losing the hard-earned, high-paying job watching Erxi look embarrassed, lying on the ground helping them find a ring and getting herself covered in dust. The group is finally satisfied and ends this meeting. After doing all the bad things, Xiao Yao stirs up trouble in front of her boyfriend again. She asks in a pretentious way for Zhen Shui to back her up. Xiao Yuyao mocks that Erxi is just a small clerk. How dare she lose her temper with him that night? They go online in the game. A collective offline meeting, deliberately targeting Lue Weiwei, is about to unfold. Zhen Shui generously covers all costs of the meeting, wanting to slap Lue Weiwei's face hard and expose Dai Meng's lie. Dai Meng knows their intentions clearly. Naturally, she is unwilling to admit defeat, and she knows Weiwei is unwilling to attend such gatherings. So she can only lie to her, saying she is treating her to dinner alone. Weiwei wanted to refuse. After all, they just met not long ago. But she really cannot handle being dragged by Xiao Nai to learn swimming after work every day. So she agrees without thinking. Then, on the way back, she accidentally answers a call from her future mother-in-law. Scared, she hurriedly gives the phone back to Xiao Nai. Being praised by her future mother-in-law, Weiwei is secretly delighted inside. Luckily, she did not leave a bad impression just now. But the style of their chat is more and more beyond Weiwei's expectation, although it is very awkward and embarrassing. Weiwei can feel that Xiao Nai's parents are very satisfied with her. After the two are clingy downstairs for a while, Weiwei goes upstairs with a happy face. At this time, Erxi, who was tortured during the day, is physically and mentally exhausted. She complains to Weiwei nonstop about how hateful those people were. Soon Weiwei will know that the grievances Erxi suffered are all because of her, and their relationship faces a breakup because of this. When Weiwei appears in a floral red dress, she instantly stuns everyone. Those netizens who used to mock her as a ladyboy in the game are all shocked by her beauty and cannot speak. And her former partner, Zhen Shui, who abandoned her. The moment he sees Weiwei, he regrets it so much his intestines turn green. Just now, on his way here, he caught a glimpse of Weiwei waiting for a car. At that moment, he was deeply attracted by her. Compared to her, the so-called number one beauty beside him, Xiao Yuyao, instantly becomes dull. Weiwei, who was tricked into coming by Dai Meng, realizes after finding everyone is here that this is essentially a trap. She dislikes this kind of occasion very much, but she does not want to immediately hurt Dai Meng's face, so she generously sits down and greets everyone instantly. Everyone's eyes are focused on her, and ever since she appeared, Zhen Shui's gaze has never left her. But soon someone becomes suspicious of her identity. After all, until now they still think Erxi is Lue Weiwei and she is just someone Dai Meng found temporarily to keep up appearances. The real Lue Weiwei is working at Zhen Shui's company at this moment. Weiwei finally knows that Erxi suffered so many grievances because of her. She feels both distressed and guilty, instantly deciding to compensate her. Well, after going back tonight. But right now she must first teach these manipulative girls who judge people by appearance a lesson for Erxi. Since everyone does not believe she is Lue Weiwei, then let's compete on the spot. Even if appearance can be faked, her strength as Lue Weiwei is not something an ordinary person can imitate. The unyielding Xiao Yu Qingqing agrees readily. But next she is abused by Weiwei wildly in the game, losing the battle in a few minutes afterwards. Weiwei does not explain much, letting strength speak for everything. She takes turns fighting them immediately. Zhen Shui on the side has completely fallen for Weiwei's beauty. He does not care at all if she is the real Lue Weiwei. After defeating everyone present, finally, no one doubts her identity. Xiao Yuyao and others, although unconvinced, have to admit they lost to Weiwei whether in strength or appearance. But she thinks she has a handsome and rich boyfriend. Little does she know Zhen Shui. Although physically with her, his heart has already drifted to Weiwei. He begins to show off, constantly displaying his wealth power. But Weiwei is unmoved. She just wants to end this extremely boring and calculated conspiracy dinner quickly to avoid having too much involvement with these people later. Weiwei deliberately lies about her name and university because it rains. Suddenly Xiao Nai calls immediately saying he will pick her up, worried she might get wet and catch a cold again. Xiao Yu Qingqing asks who that is. Weiwei admits generously. Zhen Shui feels extremely stifled after hearing this, while others have their own thoughts, wanting to see what the great beauty's boyfriend looks like. So no one leaves first after the dinner, waiting with her with faces full of gossip and desire to watch a show. Xiao Yuyao is confident she will win in terms of boyfriend, saying their Yao Yao will definitely win. But just as the words come out, she is about to be slapped in the face, when Xiao Nai walks slowly, holding an umbrella, towards Weiwei from the rain. Everyone is dumbfounded upon seeing this. His looks completely crush all men present at this moment. Dai Meng's vanity reaches its peak today. She used Wei Wei to earn enough face. Now, seeing Xiao Nai appear, she wants to use it again. Little does she know, when she tricked Wei Wei into attending the party, their friendship also stopped there. After speaking, Wei Wei turns and goes straight to Xiao Nai, while the miserable losers, Xiao Yu Qingqing and others seeing this, start to slander Wei Wei out of frustration, claiming she had partners with several people in the game. Little do they know Xiao Nai is Wei Wei's current partner in the game. Nai he Wei Wei wanted to refute, but Xiao Nai's one sentence makes everyone shut up obediently. Xiao Nai says domineeringly, as long as she is willing to be with him, he will not care about these things. Then he takes Wei Wei and leaves without looking back. The fickle, rich second-generation Jin Xiaoxiang is conquered by Wei Wei's beauty. He swears secretly in his heart, he must snatch her over. After all, Xiao Nai is just a CEO of a startup company. How can his worth compare to him? Little does he know Xiao Nai's strength is immeasurable, and he is determined to get Wei Wei. When Wei Wei jokingly asks him if one day she really cheats on him what he would do, Xiao Nai's answer is completely beyond her expectation. Xiao Nai says if she goes over the wall by 1 inch, he will move the wall by 1 inch. He will move the wall by 1 inch. If she goes over by 1 foot, he will move it by 1 foot. Wei Wei feels extremely sweet inside because she has decided on Xiao Nai for this life. However, Wei Wei's road to love, although going very smoothly, her friendship, is about to face a breakup. When Erxi expectantly takes the top sword she spent months forging painstakingly to give to her crush, Wei Guang, preparing to confess to him, she learns a cruel truth. It turns out Wei Guang, always misunderstood, she is Wei Wei. What makes her despair even more is Wei Guang ruthlessly pierces her heart with a sword. Chao Guang calls out Bei Wei Wei's name, scolding her for this hypocritical act, saying he has played along enough. When hearing the 3 words Bei Wei Wei, Erxi suddenly realizes that for so long, she has always been Wei Wei's substitute, and the other party is actually Chao Guang, whom she just started to like. Wei Wei, who is still unaware at this time, learns at the party that Zheng Shui misunderstood Erxi is Wei Wei and let his girlfriends make things difficult for Erxi in every way. She feels very guilty inside, so she decides to buy a cake. She loves to go back and coax her well, but Wei Wei does not have enough money, so naturally Xiao Nai pays, being jealous even of the girlfriend's best friend. Wei Wei asks him why he gives so much. Xiao Nai says, keep it for her to coax him. This show of affection makes the clerk on the side unable to stand it. Since the sugar daddy asks to be coaxed actively, Wei Wei reluctantly buys him a small cake. The big cake is naturally for Erxi, but Xiao Nai is really too hard to coax. He is simply the king of jealousy. But now Wei Wei has perfectly mastered the way to handle her arrogant boyfriend. After returning home, Wei Wei goes directly to Erxi's room, but sees her squatting on the ground, saying nothing. Wei Wei does not know. Erxi was just hurt thoroughly by the person she likes because of her. So she tells her about the matter of being bullied at the company yesterday, completely and truthfully. These words undoubtedly cause Erxi a double blow. The emotions, suppressed for a long time, explode instantly. She knocks the cake to the ground, roaring for Wei Wei to get out immediately. Wei Wei does not understand yet the seriousness of the matter, thinking Erxi is just having a temper tantrum momentarily. On the other side, the school beauty who always had a crush on Xiao Nai, accidentally sees the video of Chao Guang complaining about Wei Wei two-timing. To separate her relationship with Xiao Nai and take the chance to rise to position, she calls immediately to meet Xiao Nai, wanting to show him the video, but gets ruthlessly rejected. The undying Meng Iran specially finds out where Xiao Nai runs in the morning and chases over early the next day. Although Xiao Nai watches the video, he does not believe Chao Guang's words. He knows Wei Wei's character very well. If not deliberate slander, then there must be some misunderstanding. But to prevent the matter from continuing to expand and affect Wei Wei, Xiao Nai immediately hacks Meng Iran's and her followers' phone videos. And Wei Wei is in a bad mood because of Erxi's matter. She really cannot figure out why the usually carefree Erxi would be so angry hearing her say this, and connecting it to the video he just saw. Xiao Nai roughly guesses the reason, so he shows the video to her. Wei Wei explodes with anger, instantly slandering again and again. She has really had enough, and he calls himself a talent of the foreign language department. Without figuring things out, he talks nonsense and causes her and Erxi's relationship to become like this. Wei Wei wishes she could rush over and beat him up. Xiao Nai jokes to take him along. When beating people, Xiao Nai knows she forces a smile because of Erxi's matter, so he jokes deliberately to tease her. But he respects and understands Wei Wei very much. He knows she wants to solve this matter herself, so at this moment, it is not convenient for him to intervene directly. Wei Wei finds Chao Guang immediately and explains clearly face to face. Chao Guang realizes belatedly that he mistook the person. He is eager to know who Huan Tianxi is in the game. But Wei Wei has great doubts about his character. This kind of person who slanders others repeatedly without distinguishing right from wrong. She does not want Erxi to be deeply involved because Chao Guang misunderstood the game's Huan Tianxi is Wei Wei, leading to the breakup of Wei Wei and Erxi's friendship. He even spread rumors everywhere about Wei Wei timing to ruin her reputation. Xiao Nai watches his girlfriend suffer grievances and look unhappy. He feels both distressed and angry. So he hacks into Chao Guang's phone immediately to ask him out. Chao Guang questions if he came to show off his magical powers. Xiao Nai says he came to solve the trouble he left, and the way men solve conflicts is to fight a battle on the court as an all-around top student. Xiao Nai quickly beats Chao Guang, so he has no power to fight back. Xiao Nai does not want to interfere too much in the matter between Wei Wei and Erxi. He just does not want their misunderstanding to get bigger because of Chao Guang. So he reminds indirectly for Chao Guang to find out the truth quickly. He warns him to stay away from Wei Wei in the future if he hears any tiny bit of unfavorable rumors about her. Next time he will definitely not let it go so easily. Chao Guang, who is still unwilling, is shamed by Xiao Nai's one sentence. He claims to like Wei Wei but never trusted her, even regarding the negative rumors about her. Repeatedly, they all went out from him. He lost in all aspects and he is convinced of his loss. After calming down, Chao Guang recalls words Wei Wei and Xiao Nai said to him. Finally realizing belatedly Huan Tianxi in the game is Erxi. He instantly feels extremely regretful about his actions towards her in the game. The next day, Chao Guang plucks up courage to find Erxi and apologize to her sincerely. Erxi mistakes that Wei Wei told him the truth. She feels extremely ashamed instantly, but there is still a trace of hope in her heart. Maybe Chao Guang also has a tiny bit of liking for her, so she cannot help but ask if he ever felt moved by Huan Tianxi in the game. Chao Guang's unhesitating negative answer makes her despair completely. Erxi cries, shouting, "Who wants to be friends with him? Who wants to be friends with you?" Then she runs away heartbroken. Erxi, who hasn't recovered from the pain of heartbreak, is suddenly called into the office by the general manager, learning again a truth that breaks her heart. Erxi questions if the company hired her, because she said she is Luwei Weiwei Jin Xiaoxiang. Since the party learned Wei Wei is beautiful as a fairy, he has been deeply involved and unable to extricate himself. Knowing she has a boyfriend, he insists on brazenly snatching her over. So he asks Erxi indirectly for Wei Wei's information, and his action completely intensifies the conflict between Wei Wei and Erxi. Erxi feels everything she has now is because she was taken as Wei Wei. She has been living under Wei Wei's halo. Leaving Wei Wei, she is nothing. Erxi falls into deep inferiority, unable to face Wei Wei anymore. She even unconsciously blames everything on her. So that night, she wants to move out in anger. Seeing this, Wei Wei stops her quickly, wanting to have a good talk with her. But Erxi is determined not to live with her. She even gives her the money she helped pay back to Chao Guang, before seeming not to want any connection with her later. Wei Wei did not expect things to reach this point, but she still tries her best to save this friendship. Wei Wei tells her she does not need to leave. Wei Wei leaves the house to Erxi and goes out alone in the middle of the night, having nowhere to go. She calls Xiao Nai. Because of bad mood, plus the sudden breakup with Erxi, she begins to become cautious in front of Xiao Nai. Wei Wei asks if arriving so late will disturb him. Will it disturb you? Xiao Nai tells her not to be so careful in front of him, saying he will not be used to it. Although Xiao Nai says so, Wei Wei is still afraid inside one day she and Xiao Nai will also separate, so she dares not rely too much. She tells Xiao Nai to go busy with his things. She will stay alone for a while. Xiao Nai fully respects Wei Wei's decision, giving her enough space and time to digest bad emotions. After Wei Wei calms down for a while, she still runs to her boyfriend for comfort, seeing her just lying on his knee, still saying nothing. Xiao Nai does not ask too much what happened exactly, only showing full distress in his eyes, then accompanying silently until Wei Wei adjusts her mood and speaks to him actively to confide under the boyfriend's warm comfort and firm promise. Wei Wei not only dispels the worry that they will break up in the future, but also believes she and Erxi will definitely have a day of reconciliation. The depressed mood instantly improves by more than half. So she acts coquettishly, asking Xiao Nai to feed her. Little does she know the perfect boyfriend also has shortcomings. The first day the girlfriend moves in, he exposes the truth of his poor cooking skills. Xiao Nai admits some skills are not maxed out and are about to be discovered by her. Wei Wei asks curiously what skill? Xiao Nai answers cooking, saying he only knows how to cook noodles. Wei Wei smiles happily. Instantly it turns out the male god also has things he cannot do, so she cannot help but mock him. The little unhappiness in Wei Wei's heart vanishes instantly, seeing the smile finally on his girlfriend's face. Xiao Nai's hanging heart is finally put down. It was not in vain that he exposed his shortcomings. However, next the two fall into awkwardness. Although they have been dating for several months, tonight is their first time living together before. No matter how late Wei Wei was at his house, she would not stay overnight. But today the situation is special. Both try to act calm, especially Xiao Nai, always controlling himself, but he still unconsciously flirts, making Wei Wei blush and heart beat. Xiao Nai actively proposes sleeping on the sofa. Tonight, for the two is destined to be a sleepless night. Wei Wei looks at Xiao Nai's bed, can't help fantasizing. She also did not expect herself to live with Xiao Nai so soon. Although forced by helplessness, it makes her unable to help, being distracted, extremely nervous inside. After all, she is not ready yet to go further. So, taking the chance, while Xiao Nai showers, she puts the pillow and quilt he used on the sofa, and takes a clean blanket herself, then quickly turns off the light and burrows into the quilt, pretending to be asleep. When Xiao Nai comes out, he only sees Wei Wei, fully armed, covering herself tightly. He understands her shyness instantly, but still cannot help teasing her deliberately. The first night of cohabitation, one tries hard to control, one is nervous and shy, both toss and turn, and Xiao Nai is sleepless all night, waiting quietly for Wei Wei to wake up, brushing teeth and washing face first, then running. Wei Wei does not have the habit of getting up early to run, but Xiao Nai is a total daddy-style boyfriend, saying morning run is good for exercise, especially since Wei Wei is too thin and has low immunity. So Xiao Nai always finds time to exercise with her before it was after work, dragging her to swim every day. Now adding a morning run with no choice. Wei Wei has to sacrifice her life to accompany the gentleman, but she enjoys it tirelessly. But what is embarrassing is on the road. They actually meet Professor Li from the economics school, although Wei Wei is from the computer science department. Meeting a teacher is still awkward. Moreover, Xiao Nai's parents are colleagues with Professor Li. Gossip is inevitable. But luckily Xiao Nai's parents went to another place to do research for the whole summer vacation and are not at home. Wei Wei decides to live at Xiao Nai's house before school starts. Xiao Nai suggests getting off work early today to help her move things to his apartment. Then he moves to his parents' place. Wei Wei says she will move by herself. Then Wei Wei goes alone to Xiaoning's house to pack luggage. On the way back, she meets Jin Xiaoxiang. Wei Wei is surprised how he knows her address. Jin Xiaoxiang says Erxi told him, but Wei Wei does not believe a word. Although she fell out with Erxi, she knows her character very well. She definitely would not betray her. It turns out Jin Xiaoxiang used his power for personal gain, deliberately designing to let Erxi fill in her personal information. So he found his way here for this. Jin Xiaoxiang did not hesitate to break up with his girlfriend of many years. Xiao Yuyao questions, if they weren't fine yesterday, is it because of Luwei Wei Wei saying she knew long ago? With looks like hers, it would be strange not to seduce other people's boyfriends. Jin Xiaoxiang, completely obsessed, begins to pester Wei Wei. But Wei Wei has no good feeling for him at all. Initially thinking she was ugly, he ended the relationship with her in the game without hesitation. After seeing her real person, he rushes to get close to her. He even wants to use money power to make her break up with Xiao Nai, this kind of fickle scum who judges people by appearance. Not to mention, she now has the perfect boyfriend, Xiao Nai. Even if she were single, she would not give him a second look. Now he, even in front of her, belittles Xiao Nai in various ways. Good-tempered Wei Wei really cannot bear it anymore. Wei Wei says she represents her boyfriend to thank you for not marrying back. Then she walks away without looking back. But this does not make him give up. Instead, it stimulates his fighting spirit more. Since Wei Wei fell out with her best friend, she moved into Xiao Nai's house. But Xiao Nai is afraid he cannot control himself, packing luggage overnight, preparing to go back to his parents' house to sleep. But it seems heaven wants the young couple to start a sweet cohabitation life. A rainstorm causes Xiao Nai's parents' old house to leak seriously, almost destroying the valuable calligraphy and paintings in the house. Luckily, Xiaonai arrives in time. The two hurriedly mop up the accumulated water in the room then, just in case, immediately move all calligraphy and paintings temporarily to Xiaonai's house. Since it is heaven's will, Xiaonai accepts it happily, then finds a high-sounding reason making Wei Wei unable to refute. Xiaonai says he does not mind sleeping on the floor in the company, but these calligraphy and paintings are collected by his parents for years. There cannot be any mistakes. Moreover, she is alone. He is not at ease. From then on, Xiaonai begins a 2-year study of self-control to avoid thinking wildly. Xiaonai uses work every day to survive the long night. Wei Wei begins to look forward to future married life. On the other side, Chao Guang realizes belatedly that he fell for Erxi long ago, but Erxi, whose heart was broken, refuses to accept his apology. The next day, Chao Guang finds the rumor spreaders, school beauty Meng Iran and her follower, warning them not to do these harmful things again. Otherwise do not blame him for being impolite. But here the number 1 rival Chao Guang just exited voluntarily. However, next the number 2 rival, Zhen Xiaoxiang, starts pestering Wei Wei again. Luckily, Xiaonai is perfect enough. Any rival in front of him is beaten without power to fight back. Seeing money, power is useless on Wei Wei. Zhen Xiaoxiang can only try in the game to move her by reminiscing about the past. Little does he know sitting in front of the computer at this moment is Xiaonai. Xiaonai is not in a hurry to reveal his identity. Instead, he deliberately lets the other party misunderstand. There is a chance, watching him like a clown expressing sincerity to Wei Wei, constantly playing Zhen Xiaoxiang around. Finally, with a light sentence, Xiaonai reveals his identity, saying he is Nai, he achieving a one-hit kill. Wei Wei wakes up and sees the chat. History of the two cannot help sighing. Xiaonai's black-bellied nature is really powerful. One can imagine at this moment Zhen Xiaoxiang must be exploding with anger, although solving the rival easily with one move. But Xiaonai comes online as the king of jealousy. Xiaonai teases Madam is indeed confessed to since childhood, telling her to remember to report in the future. But Wei Wei's husband coaxing skills have been practiced to perfection, hooking Xiaonai into a smile with a few words. This episode makes their relationship firmer. However, the exasperated Zhen Xiaoxiang does not give up because of this. Instead, being stimulated, he insists on competing with Xiaonai. He swears to win the development rights of New Chinese Ghost Story, not only taking over this project immediately, he also asks the spy lurking in Xiaonai's company to find out their latest progress. He even uses connections to move phone tongue text demo meeting half a month earlier, and this change completely disrupts Xiaonai's team's game development plan. So to speed up progress, they can only work overtime. Day and night, all employees are in combat mode. Xiaonai and Wei Wei's sweet cohabitation life ends temporarily. Wei Wei cannot help much with the project, but she wants to do something as much as possible, so she takes on the logistics work of taking care of their daily life. Wei Wei is indeed Xiaonai's best helper. Things he didn't consider, Wei Wei thought of for him according to everyone's preferences and habits. She arranged comfortable, simple resting places. Wei Wei says the beds were decided by her drawing lots. Everyone sighs. Girls are indeed more careful and thoughtful. Wei Wei, as the boss's wife, receives unanimous approval from all employees. Under her careful care, everyone's motivation is stronger. Hao Mei thanks junior sister to continue enjoying the boss's wife's proper benefits. Hao Mei proposes directly letting Wei Wei come to the company for internship every winter and summer vacation. Wei Wei agrees happily, without hesitation. On the other side, Erxi, after a few days of calming down, finally figured it out. This is thanks to the school beauty's follower. If not for her gossiping about Wei Wei in front of Erxi would not have understood so quickly that the one hurt more back then was actually Wei Wei. But she never said a word. Erxi realizes Wei Wei endured her sulking and Chao Guang's blame. She tells Chao Guang they should both apologize to Wei Wei. From the moment she decides to reconcile with Wei Wei, Erxi also painfully puts down her feelings for Chao Guang. She even states decisively, they will no longer be friends, treating each other as strangers when meeting at school. Chao Guang feels heartache instantly. Words of confession at his lips can only be swallowed alive. Waiting for the day, Erxi unties the knot in her heart. Exhausted, Wei Wei falls asleep on the desk. Xiaonai answers Erxi's call for her. Erxi calls asking if she is busy hearing Wei Wei is sleeping. Erxi cannot help having wild thoughts. Xiao Nai explains she fell asleep tired from overtime, saying let her call back when she wakes up. Wei Wei learns Erxi actively called her, instantly, dancing with excitement. And Xiao Nai dotingly tells her to go find Erxi to reconcile immediately, because he knows even if he gives Wei Wei more favor and care, it cannot replace the best friend share. Wei Wei, riding Xiao Nai's bicycle, rushes to meet Erxi, also buying her favorite cake. Their misunderstanding is finally resolved, returning to the former joyful atmosphere where they talk about everything. Erxi cannot help gossiping about Wei Wei and Xiao Nai's sweet daily life after living together. Little do they know Xiao Nai actively studied self-control before marriage. He is absolutely a perfect gentleman, never stepping out of line. Wei Wei, seeing Erxi finally back to her previous carefree and heartless appearance, the stone in her heart falls completely. Through this episode, their friendship is also more solid. Wei Wei wanted to immediately move back to live with Erxi, who knew moving into Xiao Nai's house is easy, but moving out is hard. Xiao Nai says domineeringly, "Come as you wish, leave as you wish," letting her move. When school starts, Xiao Nai goes online as bossy president again. Wei Wei can only obey obediently on the other side. The unyielding school beauty Meng Yiran and her followers still attempt to use Erxi to spread rumors about Wei Wei. Again, to separate her feelings with Xiao Nai, Erxi and Wei Wei decide to beat them at their own game, take good revenge on them. Wait until Meng Yiran thinks the plot is about to succeed. Wei Wei appears suddenly. At this time they realize they were tricked. Their lungs explode with anger. Instantly, Wei Wei punctures Meng Yiran's shameful little thoughts with just one sentence. Erxi tells them Wei Wei is her good friend and deliberately asks Wei Wei to eat too. Wei Wei says domineeringly she won't eat with them. After all, not everyone is interested in other people's food. It counts as a warning to her repeated coveting of her boyfriend. In repelling rivals, Wei Wei and Xiao Nai's strength is simply on par. Friendship, regained love, firm and stable. Now the only thing making Wei Wei worry is Xiao Nai's health. Watching him and employees trying to win the development right of new Chinese ghost story game, fighting continuously without sleep for many days, seeing the demo meeting getting closer, but the game still has not reached the expected effect. Xiao Nai is busy, forgetting to eat and sleep. Wei Wei feels very distressed seeing this, but her current ability cannot help at all. She can only accompany silently, then take better care of his daily life. Although Xiao Nai is always busy with work, he still steals time from busyness to take Wei Wei out for Qixi Festival. This is their first Valentine's Day since dating. Xiao Nai, naturally, will not forget. Instead, Wei Wei completely forgot this, but she is not the kind who fusses about such things. Feeling dating can happen anytime, but Xiao Nai hasn't rested for days. Having this time, might as well go back to sleep. Indeed, good love is mutual understanding and consideration. The two prepared to put down work and have a good date. But Xiao Nai suddenly has a burst of inspiration. The game memory problem, troubling him for days, finally has a solution. So he drags Wei Wei to find a nearby coffee shop, then immerses himself in the world of code, and Wei Wei sits on the side, trying not to let anyone disturb his train of thought, accompanying silently until late night. After Xiao Nai carries her back to bed, he returns to the study to fight. After a whole night of brainstorming, the game finally reaches perfect effect the day before the demo meeting. Everyone is very happy. Only Aishuang frowns because he knows if no accident happens, Xiao Nai will definitely win this project, and he has to personally ruin the result everyone dreams of, just as Xiao Nai plans to take several core members attending the demo meeting to buy suits. Guilty Aishuang leaves with an excuse. Aishuang excuses himself not to go, wanting to go home to rest, saying he is not feeling well. Xiao Nai, who originally did not plan to buy a suit, sees Wei Wei staring intently at KO's handsomeness, instantly provoking his male desire to win, as expected. When Xiao Nai comes out, who can compete in terms of looks, he never loses. Wei Wei is excited, wanting to share with her best friend. Wei Wei says she is really embarrassed, not wanting to appear too crazy, so she calls her best friend over, using her expression to express her heart. But when seeing Xiao Nai come out dressed in the suit, she regrets instantly such a handsome boyfriend. She only wants to hide him, to admire secretly, reluctant to show anyone. Although Xiao Nai is calm on the surface, seeing through the mirror Wei Wei's crazy fan look, he feels great satisfaction inside. After choosing clothes to attend Feng Tang Tech's demo meeting tomorrow, Xiao Nai and Wei Wei together return to his house to pack luggage, wanting to send his girlfriend back to school safely before departure. But just preparing to go out, Xiao Nai's parents, returning from business trip, rush to their son's house preparing to move back his precious paintings, unexpectedly bumping into the future daughter-in-law. Both sides feel extremely awkward. After all, this is the first meeting, but it happens suddenly. No one was prepared. Wei Wei is very worried, afraid Xiao Nai's parents misunderstand she is that kind of unreserved girl giving future in-laws a bad impression. But Xiao Nai already explained for her. Moreover, his parents are not that kind of rigid and mean people. Wei Wei is both shy and embarrassed. Xiao Nai urges her to serve tea to mother-in-law. Wei Wei agrees obediently, but an ugly daughter-in-law must see in-laws. So, after adjusting her emotions, she goes out generously to serve tea to Xiao Nai's parents. Then explains again. Moving here was due to a reason to avoid them thinking too much. Xiao Nai's parents are from a scholarly family after all. After chatting, simply, they are very satisfied with Wei Wei, the future daughter-in-law. Just that, being the first meeting, both sides are inevitably unfamiliar and reserved, so Xiao Nai has a bright idea. Xiao Nai tells Mom Wei Wei needs to return to school. He has no time to send her, saying he has no time to send, letting them take her along when returning to school. Worthy of being a black-bellied boyfriend actually thinking of this method to let Wei Wei and his parents get familiar quickly being sent to school by future in-laws. Moreover, Xiao Nai's parents are professors known to everyone in school. Now Wei Wei becomes completely famous. Wei Wei persuaded hard to let Xiao Nai's parents not send her upstairs. Wei Wei is pestered by roommates for various gossip. As soon as she returns, roommate exclaims, "It is too amazing," saying, "Others are sent by parents." At most she is actually sent by in-laws. Since being with Xiao Nai, every now and then she becomes the focus of discussion on the school forum. She is used to it long ago. And school beauty Meng Yiran finally puts down her obsession with Xiao Nai, preparing to study abroad. Before leaving, she finds Wei Wei and apologizes to her sincerely and wishes her and Xiao Nai happiness together. The two clear up past misunderstandings after Erxi learns about this. Although this rival is not fearful, one more friend is better than one more enemy. And after Meng Yiran leaves, the position of school beauty belongs to Wei Wei. Wei Wei accompanies Erxi to Zhen E Tech to get internship wages. Waiting in the lobby, seeing the person on the magazine cover, she remembers he once met Senior A Shuang privately. Asking Erxi, she learns that person is actually Zhen E Tech's managerly responsible for game development. Instantly, a bad premonition surges in her heart, so she calls Xiao Nai, immediately reminding him to watch out for Senior A Shuang. But the call cannot get through. Other people's phones are also turned off. Little does she know, new Chinese Ghost Stories project bidding meeting has begun. Zhen Xiaoxiang represents Zhen E Tech to perform report demonstration, but he is more of a senior player of Chinese Ghost Story. However, when it is Xiao Nai's turn, Zhe Tech starts but cannot connect to the server. The mastermind takes the chance to add fuel to the fire, implying their game itself has problems. If the demo meeting is delayed, it will inevitably disrupt new Chinese Ghost Stories launch plan. So today they must make a choice between the two companies and must be within 1 hour. Otherwise it will delay Feng Tung Tech CEO's original business trip schedule. Just when the situation becomes anxious, they take out a backup plan, instantly slapping the faces of those singing bad about GE Tech's board members. Realizing at the last moment A Shuang told Xiao Nai about Zhen E Tech's conspiracy in advance. The reason to play along is also to ensure nothing goes wrong, catching them off guard. So the opponent has no time to play dirty tricks again. Without doubt, GE Tech's developed new Chinese Ghost Story, whether in image quality, smoothness, character diversity, and running memory, etc., crushes Zhen E Tech in all aspects. The final result has no suspense. But Wei Wei, who cannot contact Xiao Nai, is restless, worried about problems with the project. After all, this is everyone's hard work, fighting for months. If they lose because of being framed, that would be too unjust. And Xiao Nai, after getting new Chinese Ghost Story development rights, flies back to school overnight, cannot wait to tell Wei Wei this good news. Xiao Nai tells Wei Wei they won. Wei Wei shouts excitedly that it is great. After Xiao Nai's company wins new Chinese Ghost Stories development rights, the busy work ends temporarily. So he takes Wei Wei along, taking all company employees for a self-driving tour. When GE Tech Boy Group's 4 luxury cars appear in school at the same time, Picking up the future boss's wife in a high profile, Wei Wei feels both flattered and awkwardly embarrassed. Wei Wei complains she should have gone to the company to gather, saying this attracts too much attention. Xiaonai teases it won't be more noticeable than in-laws sending her to school. Xiaonai always likes to tease Wei Wei. Occasionally Wei Wei does not show weakness, fighting back quickly, saying in the past it was all thanks to him. The two gradually change from cold male god and little wife's interaction mode to a pair of happy enemies. But Xiaonai's henpecked nature has not changed. At first, racing with good brothers insisting on driving in front of them, but Wei Wei's one sentence, asking him to drive slower, makes him slow down immediately. Watching them all pass him, he maintains a slow and steady speed, even stopping to be briefly intimate with Wei Wei. Anyway, only he knows the specific address of the holiday villa. Others arriving nearby can only wait for him, obediently indeed. When Xiaonai and Wei Wei arrive at the destination, everyone complains. Yu Banshan, seeing Wei Wei's flushed cheeks, stops questioning. After arranging rooms, everyone begins happy play mode. Xiaonai and KO, as the company's tech gods with equal strength, are also gifted in swimming. So someone suggests letting the two compete to see who is better. Hao Mei, since living with KO, has become his praise machine. Hao Mei supports KO firmly, saying, "This looks like a natural champion appearance," mocking a group of straight men. Doesn't understand, between Hao Mei and KO, that subtle magnetic field change. Wei Wei reveals the truth with one sentence. Wei Wei teases someone praising KO, asking why Hao Mei is so proud. Hao Mei arrogantly retorts, "None of your business, none of your business." Seeing Hao Mei believe in him so much, KO actively proposes to compete, but the result is unsatisfactory. Xiaonai wins without suspense. Wei Wei is extremely excited. Hao Mei is full of disappointment. This stimulates KO's fighting spirit more, so he insists on another round. But unexpectedly Hao Mei chooses Xiaonai. This time KO, who won the match, learns Hao Mei actually did not firmly stand on his side. He is extremely lost. Instantly Wei Wei points out he is angry. He is angry, accusing Hao Mei of actually not trusting KO Wei Wei to matchmake the two spares. No effort, hurrying Hao Mei to coax KO, otherwise he might really not barbecue for them for food. Hao Mei goes all out, chasing over immediately to apologize eagerly. KO's cooking not only conquered Hao Mei, others also worship him, especially Xiaonai, this perfect male. God actually knows nothing about cooking, if not considering. KO is the company's irreplaceable technical core. He really wants to transfer him to be a chef. KO's barbecue is too popular. Every time it is snatched empty. Yu Banshan, who didn't get any, proposes distributing via game PK. This proposal gets everyone's unanimous agreement, but Xiaonai, the game king, is forbidden to participate. Xiaonai asks helplessly what he eats. Then everyone tells him to ask third sister-in-law for help to win, saying it is settled. Xiaonai watches Wei Wei like a little rabbit gnawing a chicken leg. His eyes are full of doting in the following battle. Although Wei Wei's strength is not bad, but in front of these game masters, she is slightly inferior. After all, she plays Xiaonai's game account. She is not familiar herself, but under the boyfriend's slight tactical guidance, she turns the tide of battle quickly, worthy of being a double strong CP. Finally, Wei Wei and Xiaonai win most of the barbecue. Just as she prepares to exit the game, she sees Zhen Xiaoxiang sending an apology letter. He states regarding Zhen E-Tech using those shady methods. He did not know, but after all it is his dad's company. He cannot escape responsibility either. Later he will quit Chinese Ghost Story game forever and go abroad for further study. Waiting for a day, he will definitely make a better game than Xiaonai. Wei Wei, seeing this, replies with good luck, and Xiaonai also states generously he awaits. As long as it is fair competition, all opponents deserve his respect. Wei Wei, thinking after new Chinese Ghost Story development, those old Chinese Ghost Story players might find it hard to reunite. She becomes a bit sad. Instantly, Xiaonai takes her to relax nearby. The two finally have some time alone. Xiaonai guarantees her the old Chinese Ghost Story server Feng Tung Tech promised him will never be closed, even if there are changes in the future. At least it will be there in the short term. The two bonded because of Chinese Ghost Story, this game, and got together. For them, old Chinese Ghost Story has irreplaceable meaning, bits and pieces of knowing and loving each other. So both hope it can operate permanently. This is also Xiaonai. After getting new Chinese Ghost Story development rights, a request proposed to Feng Tung Tech that counts as carrying a bit of selfishness. And New Chinese Ghost Story, under GE Tech's promotion, becomes the most popular game in just 2 years, the most sought-after game. Moreover, mobile and PC versions both won international awards, and Xiaonai also frequently appears on public media as a handsome and rich, bossy president, naturally attracting a large number of fangirls. Weiwei's rivals can be said to be all over the world now, but Xiaonai cuts off all girls' thoughts with one sentence, giving Weiwei enough sense of security. Xiaonai states his fiancé is also in their team. This operation breaks countless fangirls' hearts, and Weiwei, as the party involved, does not know at all. When her status upgraded, Xiaonai hasn't proposed to her. Under the roommate's interrogation, Weiwei finally remembers. Before chatting with Xiaonai, she complained she interned in his company for 2 years and didn't get a penny of wages, and Xiaonai's answer exceeded her expectation. Xiaonai says he only wants the person thinking about it. Now, this might be Xiaonai's proposal to her roommates. Worry for Weiwei's family status after marriage, one after another. This is completely controlled by Xiaonai, but Weiwei does not care. Anyway, in this life, she has decided on Xiaonai. Marriage is a matter of time, but she didn't expect Xiaonai to be so impatient, planning to marry her home as soon as Weiwei graduates. Xiaonai is a perfect boyfriend. Even if work is busy, he will not miss Weiwei's graduation ceremony. However, he attracts everyone's eyes as soon as he appears. Graduation photos cannot be taken properly. Weiwei's face always overflows with a happy smile after taking photos. She cannot wait to run to Xiaonai, then drags him to take a photo with everyone. Although Xiaonai graduated long ago, he is still the idol of thousands of girls in school as the female side's family members. Best friends can enjoy the special benefit of taking photos with the great master, and Erxi and Xiaoguang's relationship also makes progress. Previous unhappiness disappeared with the passage of time, long ago. At this moment, their eyes are full of full love for each other. Just haven't pierced that layer of window paper yet. Roommates seeing this sincerely feel happy for Erxi. Only Weiwei is still silly, not seeing through the strong sparks between the two. Weiwei proposes whether to snatch Erxi back. Roommate complains if she is a bit silly, asking if she doesn't feel the pink atmosphere between Erxi and Xiaoguang. Xiaonai's popularity now is greater than before. Fans ask for photos and autographs everywhere he goes, but they are all politely refused by Xiaonai. But Weiwei still has a little jealousy in her heart. No choice. The fiancé is too excellent. So she asks angrily for Xiaonai to send her to Xiaoling's house. Xiaonai teases. When did she agree to be the fiancé? Xiaonai's black-bellied nature attacks from time to time, simply making Weiwei unable to guard against it. Xiaonai waited hard for Weiwei to graduate. How could he let her live in a best friend's house again? So, without a word, he directly packs Weiwei along with the person to his own house. Xiaonai claims sleeping on the sofa causes cervical spondylosis. Weiwei retorts, who said to sleep on the sofa? Weiwei has graduated. His 2 years of hard cultivation and self-control should also graduate. Then he kisses her uncontrollably, seeming to want to rub Weiwei into his own body. But finally, reason prevails. After all, he agreed with Weiwei to give himself completely to the other party after marriage, and now Weiwei has reached legal age. Xiaonai does not want to wait a moment longer. He states immediately he will go to her house to propose. Xiaonai says he completely does not intend to return her to her parents. Weiwei agrees with a shy face. She tells her parents about this immediately. The prospective father-in-law hears his precious daughter was abducted as soon as she graduated. No matter how excellent Xiaonai is, he is extremely reluctant. He even prepared a set of extremely strict testing conditions for this, hoping to scare the other party away. But the prospective mother likes him, although she only saw photos. But in this world that looks at faces, good looks are hard currency. Weiwei's mom not only prepares a table of rich food to treat the future son-in-law, she even goes downstairs personally to welcome him. The moment she sees Xiaonai appear, her eyes light up instantly. Indeed, the mother-in-law likes the son-in-law, but unexpectedly, as soon as he enters, he encounters the future father-in-law's show of authority. The gift Xiaonai carefully chose is disliked by Weiwei's dad in various ways. Weiwei's dad complains their tea is not as good as his own, but for the sake of his daughter he accepts it temporarily. But next he starts to pick faults in every way. And Xiaonai is also ready to accept the test. He just did not expect his father-in-law to be so difficult. He is dissatisfied with him everywhere. His game company, earning hundreds of millions a year, is described by him as not doing proper work. Xiao Nai's patient explanation only gets comments like unreliable and unstable. Xiao Nai, who controls everything perfectly, is frustrated for the first time. But to marry Wei Wei, he can only be braver with every setback, even if he has deliberately made things difficult, for he can only respond with a smile. But actually, Wei Wei's dad, the moment he saw Xiao Nai, he was very satisfied with him inside. It just concerns his precious daughter's lifelong happiness. He must comprehensively observe and test carefully. After all, you know the face, but not the heart. Wei Wei's dad also takes great pains, not letting go of every detail, even whether Xiao Nai snores when sleeping. Such small things must be recorded. Luckily, the results satisfy him, and Xiao Nai cooperates very well, doing whatever his father-in-law asks. So as soon as Wei Wei wakes up, she sees her boyfriend being used by her dad as a laborer and tortured in various ways. She feels extremely distressed. Instantly, she secretly finds Xiao Nai to comfort him. Unexpectedly, he says something surprising. Xiao Nai suddenly suggests having a son in the future. Wei Wei asks how his thinking jumps so fast, reminding him he hasn't handled her dad yet. Xiao Nai explains, if they have a daughter, he will only be stricter than his father-in-law. In this case, his own daughter will probably be hard to marry off. If they have a son, he can teach him how to handle other people's daughters. One knows without thinking. The son born to him and Wei Wei will surely have outstanding looks and ability under his training. Winning over the girl he likes is simply a matter of minutes. Wei Wei is amused by his crooked logic. Wei Wei thinks it seems she still has to act personally to handle her dad. So she comes up with a plan saying, if Xiao Nai's parents also test her like this, what should she do? As soon as this is said, Wei Wei's dad is unhappy immediately. His precious daughter cannot suffer even a tiny bit of grievance. Now he does not think Xiao Nai is bad. Instead, he is too perfect. That makes him uneasy. Wei Wei refutes immediately hearing this, saying, Xiao Nai cannot cook. But unexpectedly it backfires. Finally he caught a handle. Now he disagrees even more. Wei Wei wants to cry, but has no tears. Her various acting cute do not work anymore. Angry Wei Wei tells Xiao Nai about this, immediately saying she helped, but made it worse. The rest can only be handled by himself. Xiao Nai finds his father-in-law immediately to chat alone. Wei Wei and Mom are restless in the living room, afraid. The two talk, and it falls apart, ruining her great marriage. But not long after Wei Wei's dad comes back, smiling happily, and he even urges Wei Wei and Xiao Nai to marry quickly, as fast as possible. This attitude reversal makes Wei Wei stunned on the spot instantly. She does not know what exactly Xiao Nai used to handle her dad. Xiao Nai teases that probably his father-in-law thinks producing 2 grandsons early is not bad. Xiao Nai, who was originally not liked by his father-in-law, just used 2 children who don't exist yet to pass the assessment smoothly. Xiao Nai finally can bring the beauty home as wished. So he calls his parents immediately, asking them to come quickly to propose to discuss specific wedding details. Having practiced hard for 2 years, Xiao Nai of the self-control department does not want to wait a moment. He just wants to legally possess Wei Wei wholeheartedly, quickly. At this moment Wei Wei is a happy bride-to-be. She takes Xiao Nai to feel well. The scenery of her hometown, where she grew up, and casual chat they talk about. Back then her parents wanted her to attend a local university. If she listened to their opinion, then she and Xiao Nai would not have met. Xiao Nai looks thoughtful. After hearing it, he really imagines this possibility inside. Wei Wei in that time and space went to Wuhan University, then Xiao Nai there for his whole life. What if he cannot get married? Although Wei Wei thinks his imagination is wild, but she is very satisfied with his answer. Being recognized by the person she likes as the only one. Maybe this is the most beautiful look of love. Luckily they met in this life, making each other's life complete. When love is strong, the two cannot help hugging and kissing. Happiness is concretized at this moment. The next day Xiao Nai's parents arrive and meet the future in-laws. The family happily discusses the marriage of the 2 children. Next the wedding is prepared in an orderly manner. Xiao Nai even buys a luxury Riverview house. All decoration and layout are completely according to Wei Wei's preference. Best friends are extremely envious seeing this, and the magnificence of Wei Wei's wedding dress and the level of luxury surprises Erxi greatly. Erxi guesses this costs over 100,000. Complaining, she wears a bathroom on her head. Wei Wei asks her to say something nice, because this wedding dress is Xiao Nai, according to the one he and Wei Wei in the game wore when becoming partners. Before restored one-to-one, it has special meaning to them. Best friends are sincerely happy for Wei Wei. Although marrying young Xiao Nai is indeed worth entrusting for a lifetime, although there is still half a month before the wedding. But Wei Wei and Xiao Nai are already legally married. Erxi looks at their wedding photo, sighing again that Wei Wei and Xiao Nai are truly a talented man and beautiful woman, a perfect match. And Erxi and Xiao Guang finally achieve a positive result, after being teased by them. Erxi chases and plays shyly, but happy times always pass in a flash. The group wanted to drag Wei Wei to Xiaoning's house before the wedding to enjoy best friend life for a while longer, but unexpectedly Xiao Nai refuses without hesitation. After all, now Wei Wei is his legal wife. The self-control department should also graduate after Xiao Nai sends them back. He cannot wait to come back to spend a good night with Wei Wei, and the wedding dress is too complex. Wei Wei wanted to try it on, but she cannot put it on well herself. Xiao Nai says he knows how Xiao Nai gently helps Wei Wei put on the wedding dress, piece by piece. Although they are already registered, Wei Wei is still extremely shy. Feeling Xiao Nai's breath close at hand, and the warm touch coming from his fingertips, she blushes, and her heart beats fast. Instantly, and Xiao Nai is like a loyal guard, kneeling on the ground piously helping Wei Wei arrange the wedding dress meticulously, then leads her to the mirror. Wei Wei, wearing the red, beautiful wedding dress, is like a classic beauty, delicate and charming. Every frown and smile makes Xiao Nai unable to extricate himself, so he cannot help kissing her. Then he picks up Wei Wei, preparing to exercise his rights as a legal husband. From this moment, both sides possess each other completely, and the happy life belonging to the two truly begins. 2 years later, Xiao Nai takes Wei Wei to the internet cafe where he met her for the first time. He has secretly bought this place, preparing to transform it into GE Tech's office area. Wei Wei knows at this moment that Xiao Nai planned for her for a long time back then, so she cannot help teasing. Wei Wei teases that he is basically a pervert. Xiao Nai is not ashamed but proud, saying he feels the degree is not enough, mocking himself that at least he is a hungry wolf among perverts, although married for a long time. Facing Xiao Nai's flirting, Wei Wei still cannot handle it. Then she runs away shyly, and Xiao Nai looks at Wei Wei, the seat she used to sit in. Recalling the scene at that time, he cannot help regretting not being able to early pursue Wei Wei, sighing. If he knew today would come, he would definitely fall in love with her at first sight.